I think it'll help to talk about some of the symptoms that companies face that should cause them to take a step back and say, hey, I've got a brand problem here and I need to solve it. So I'm just going to kind of go through a list of things and maybe talk about each one, and hopefully paint a pretty clear picture of all of the symptoms, and you don't need to be facing all of these, and maybe you're just facing some of them that should cause you to pause, take a step back, and think about strengthening your brand or branding, for the first time. The first one is, there's no differentiation out there, meaning you're not giving your prospective customers a reason to choose you over the competition. You're sitting out there in the sea of sameness. You look like everybody else. You sound like everybody else. And so there's no reason for people to come into your world. And so sales are slow, your marketing efforts are inefficient, and so on and so forth. The next thing is, and because of that, there's really some low brand awareness. Nobody really knows that you do what you do and why, what makes you special and why you do it. There's just no brand awareness out there, and so it's pretty difficult to get people to come into your world that way. Or you have to put in a lot more effort to attract those people and get them into your sales funnel or whatnot. The next thing is, you're probably experiencing some very inconsistent messaging. And maybe the sales team is saying one thing and the marketing team is saying another thing, or, from one tactic to the other, your messaging is all across the board. It's not focused. It's not clear. You're not clarifying for your prospective customers how you can help them. How you can meet them where they're at and solve those specific problems that they're facing. Inconsistent messaging also leads to lack of trust. So if you say one thing here and it piques somebody's interest, and then you say another thing over here that sort of contradicts what they saw before, they're not going to trust you. Why would they? And that all leads to, there's no customer loyalty out there. So, this is a huge symptom. So our goal in branding really is to create loyal customers for our clients. And that means that they're repeat, they're coming back. They view you as indispensable resource for the success of their business. And that might be because their experience with you is positive because of your processes, because of your customer service, all of the things that make you great. But we want to create those loyal customers from the get-go. We want to take those pluses, those strengths that you have, and sort of inject that into the messaging right from the start, so people can start to experience the brand and say, hey, you know what, these guys are a little bit different. I think I'm going to like working with them, or they're really speaking my language. I can identify with these folks. Like I want to get into a room and solve problems with them. That creates loyal customers. And do you know what the secret is with loyal customers? Do you know what they do for you? They start to bring business to you. And, they're the ones that are starting to refer customers to you and fill up your sales funnel and all that stuff. It's really cool when it starts to work out. And then, really the next thing, and probably one of the most surprising things that should cause you to take a step back and say, hey, I really got to think about my branding right now, is employee turnover. So if you're experiencing a lot of employee turnover, it's probably because those employees that are leaving don't see the end goal. They don't know why they're doing what they do and for what purpose. They're not motivated to create and or sell a widget because they don't know why they're doing it. And therefore, employee morale is low. The culture suffers because of it. And so if you're experiencing high levels of employee turnover, take a step back because you got a branding issue. Those are some of the most popular things. This is what we hear over and over again when people come into our world and we start to talk to them about, what their branding is. And it's just part of our vetting process, of do you actually need to focus on your brand right now? So I hope that helps. It's interesting, to think about it from, a very objective perspective. Take a step back. Are you experiencing any of these symptoms? If you are, you may need to rebrand or brand your business for the first time.